Living the Vibes with Vyman.
Hello guys, and welcome to the premiere episode of Living the Vibes. I'm your host, Vyman. And no, that's not my name, but I'm gonna explain this later on. So, today is August 1st, and it's my birthday. I'll leave up to you to guess what is my real age. It's gonna be tough. But also, today is the birth of the newest podcast out there, Living the Vibes. So, you're probably wondering why this guy is starting a podcast. We have so many out there. Well, it's as simple as that. We have Haaland, we have Mbappe, and so many great players out there. But that doesn't mean that there isn't enough space for everybody. So every day there are so many podcasts that are beginning their journey. So I've done some researches about how to make a podcast, and believe it or not, it was really tough one. Uh, the toughest one was definitely the name of the podcast because there are so many names that you can give. I was thinking about straight talk, but it turns out that there's already an existing straight talk podcast. I've listened to a few episodes of it. Also, making the videos, the recording. This is really new for me. It's really difficult, despite that I'm talking in front of my phone. But mm, a few hundred, a few thousand are probably gonna view this, and it's making me really nervous. But I guess that it's normal. So you know, let's talk about the investment that I've made, and you should make if you want to start a podcast. So basically, what you need for a podcast, of course, is a microphone and a camera. And of course, a tripod, a microphone stand, or arm. Lighting also very important. Right now, I'm not using a lightning because I have a natural daylight because of the nice summer day. But you can use if you want to. So I'm pretty sure that a lot of you have noticed that very of the podcast creators are using the Shure microphone, which is a really good option, but also a really expensive one. I think it's about $300 or $400, maybe even more. Um, so I decided to invest very little, at least from the beginning, because I don't think beginners should invest a lot of podcasting or singing or any other type of YouTube channel that they made. Because right now I'm making this episode, I'm really excited about. I've invested a few bucks. I have the motivation, but who knows? Maybe this podcast could be great, but maybe people won't like it. You never know. So don't invest too much money, at least from the beginning. $100, $200 is good for starting. So I have invested probably about 150. The microphone, of course, is the most expensive one. $60 from I bought it from Amazon. The microphone stand $30. Tripod $30. So that is about $120. I don't think that there's anything else that I have invested, at least for now. And of course, like I said, the two most important thing that you need for making a podcast is a microphone, but actually, the most important thing I think personally is camera. Camera for me is more important than the microphone because I have watched a lot of reviews and some of the experts, most of the experts, are saying that it doesn't really make that big difference between a microphone for $50 and a microphone for $300. I'm pretty sure that that's not really the truth, but I have tried a 10 hour mic, and it's actually not about the microphone. It's because of the settings that you make and mostly the editing right now. After that, after you record it, if you're a good editor and use a good editing software, uh, who knows? It might be way better than even the Shure microphone, or not. Um, so, $120 for me, I think it's good for beginning. Later on, if this podcast uh, is likely to continue, I will invest, of course, more money for a microphone and mostly for camera. A lot of professional YouTubers, podcasters are using DSLR cameras. Of course, you have to make $300 or $400 at least for a good DSLR camera. Luckily, we are in the 21st century. We have smartphones. Every smartphone that is at least $200 has a high quality camera. Not, of course, high quality as the DSLR camera, but is good for beginning. So, the of course, the equipment for me was very hard to put it in. This stand was a big problem for me because the microphone is too heavy, very heavy actually. Uh, this is actually the cheapest microphone stand I found on the internet. Uh, so now let's talk about the podcasts that have inspired me. So the first podcast that I've ever witnessed was, believe it or not because a lot of people get motivated by big podcasters like Joe Rogan or Logan Paul or someone like that. The first podcast that I've witnessed was a year ago. It's called the Unwaxed podcast by Sistine and Sophia Stallone. And yeah, they are Sylvester Stallone's daughters. Really nice podcast, really interesting. One of the most interesting episodes, of course, were with their father, with their mother, with both of their parents. But of course, for me, the most interesting episodes are when their sister Scarlett is their guest. The topics that you can expect in this podcast, we're gonna discuss multiple kind of topics, mostly for relationships. I'm gonna share my personal stories. Some of them are gonna be fun, some of them are gonna be not. I'm really hoping that you're gonna enjoy them. Also, trending topics, uh, social media topics. I am really interested in Instagram and TikTok. Um, Things like what type of boys girls actually want. Do they really know what they actually want? Is the question. Tall guys or short guys, fat guys or muscular guys. Do they like beards? Do they like clean shaved? No one really knows that. Also, I'm a big fan of the combat sports, uh, of MMA and boxing. Big fan of Conor McGregor. I'm definitely gonna make probably an entire episode for him or for the UFC. I'm gonna talk a little bit about him. Uh, the other podcasts that also inspire me. About a month ago, I started to watch on YouTube a very new podcast. It's called The Squeeze, and it's hosted by Taylor Lautner and his wife, Taylor Lautner. It's really confusing, I know. Um, also, of course, we cannot mention the Joe Rogan Experience. Very interesting podcast. He's a man that has shown a lot of us over the years that he is the number one podcaster out there, despite that a lot of people are claiming that they are the number one. Uh, no one really knows that. There are statistics on Spotify, on YouTube, but every fan has his favorite podcaster. So whether you're number one, number two, or number 10, it doesn't really matter. I've seen on YouTube as well as on TikTok and Instagram people that have 5 or 10 million followers, but they do not have that amount of views. And however, I've seen people that have only 500,000 and they have 2, 3, 4, and even more 400,000 and more views on every video. So followers, subscribers, that really doesn't matter. So the schedule, I still don't know where I'm gonna post. I'm definitely gonna post weekly, that's for sure. But still don't know if I'm gonna do it on Tuesday, on Wednesday, or on Thursday. I've done some researches, and according to a lot of people, the best posting day for podcasts is Tuesday. Maybe not. Definitely Monday and Friday is not the best day for posting. So I'm gonna think about that. Maybe you can give me some advice whether you want to hear the podcast on Tuesday or on Wednesday or any other day, maybe Saturday, who knows. If you are working lately and studying a lot, if you're a student, maybe Saturday is the better option, the best option for you. So after making this podcast episode, I'm gonna have to edit it. So the editing program is something that a lot of experts prefer to use the free plan, at least from the beginning. I personally am planning to use maybe CapCut as a video editor. As an audio editor, maybe Riverside. I've seen that they're doing a good job. Or Adobe Audio or FL Studio. I'm gonna try all of them. I'm gonna see whoever works better for me, and I'm gonna stick with it. I don't know how much I'm recording. Maybe there are 15 minutes at least right now, maybe even more. So the timing of the length of every episode. I've also done a research about that, and a lot of people are saying that 20 to 40 minutes is the best podcast episode, and I definitely agree with that. I think that if you're making a podcast, it definitely has to be at least 20 minutes. Of course, if you're making a daily podcast, it could be 5 minutes. That is definitely great. But if you're making weekly, it should be at least 20 minutes. Some people are making monthly and they're making 2 hours or 3 hours. But I think this is too much. It's definitely too much. 2 hours, even if you don't have a lot of things to do, 2 hours is way too much. Even an hour is way too much. Instead of making an hour, you could make 30-40 minutes of a great podcast. Unless, of course, you don't have really special guests like Elon Musk or Mike Tyson, like Joe Rogan is doing. But of course, not everybody is Joe Rogan, and not everybody can have that kind of special guest. If I was having that kind of special guest, I would probably make an hour or two with them. But since this is a solo podcast, at least for now, I'm gonna be talking some bullshit in front of you. You're gonna laugh, or you're gonna just close the YouTube window because you're sick and tired of it. So, well, a lot of people are thinking that the most important thing is the host and also the guest. Well, you're wrong. I've seen a lot of people, a lot of hosts that they were already famous before they started a podcast, and they were doing well, not because they were that good podcasters, but because they were famous and they have fans. And when you have fans, everything is possible. You can be a good podcaster, you could be a good movie actor, or whatever the hell you start doing. I've seen this multiple times. I'm pretty sure that you have seen this also, especially on Instagram. People with millions and millions of followers and millions of likes on their post. There are some fans like me that are gonna like a lot of the posts of their favorite singer or their favorite actor or their favorite athlete, but that doesn't mean that I'm gonna like all of their posts. However, there are some fans that literally live for the stars. Let's say for Blackpink. I'm a big Blackpink fan. I gotta admit, yeah, you got me there. I gotta admit that I literally like every single post of Blackpink. They're literally amazing girls. But Blackpink is the only persons that I'm doing that with. Uh, but there are a lot of fans that are liking literally every single post of their fans, whether it's a selfie or their smoothie, their morning routine, a picture, a reel, doesn't matter, or just a black picture, a black background, which is definitely really I don't know. I'm not that kind of guy that it's gonna like a black picture because it doesn't make sense. But the big fans are doing that, believe it or not. So anyway, guys, I think that is the most all the things that I have to say for now. Now I introduced myself. I told you why I'm starting because I just want to express myself. I just want to talk about topics that I'm interested in, and I know a lot of you are gonna be interested in. There are subscribers for every kind of podcast, music podcasts, cooking podcasts, finance podcasts. So I really hope that I'm gonna make a small connection from the beginning and then bigger one with you. Hope you like it. I'm open for critics. I am looking forward for the haters, of course. So the podcasts, once again, the Unwaxed, the Squeeze, the Joe Rogan Experience, definitely he is my idol. Looking forward to be like him, but of course that's gonna be really tough job to do. To all the podcast listeners, I hope you're gonna be enjoying this podcast. Once again, I know I'm saying this probably for a third time. It's really annoying, but again, I'm really this is my first episode. I'm really nervous about, but I am natural, or maybe not that natural. Mostly personal stories, a lot of interesting topics to discuss. I'm open for a recommendation of topics, of course, something that you're interested in to hear about, watch about here on YouTube. For now, this podcast is gonna be available on YouTube only. Later on, I'm probably gonna put it on Spotify, maybe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. And this is it, guys. So thank you for watching. I know it was really hard for you. I'm gonna do whatever I can to be way better than the second episode. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a little better. Maybe not that better, but a little better than the first one, the premiere one. Because you know the beginning is always really hard. Doesn't matter if it's podcasting or anything else. So this is it. They say that at the end of every episode, you have to add a call to action, which means that be sure to subscribe, on my YouTube channel. Uh, be sure to follow me on social media. Be sure to uh, type whatever there is on your mind, whether it's love or hate, doesn't really matter. And of course, also, this is living the vibes. And my main goal is to entertain you, have fun, and spread all the positive vibes that I can to you. Because vibes is about that. A lot of people are thinking that vibes is the same thing as mood, but it's not. Mood is a way of feeling, being happy, being sad, being pissed off, or something like that. While vibes is an atmosphere. Now, being in the best atmosphere that you could is gonna be my job. So if you're feeling not in a good mood, if you're feeling bored, you can always open this podcast if you want. So thank you for watching once again. Be sure to subscribe, be sure to comment, be sure to follow me on social media if you want and if you like this podcast. And that was it. I'm your host, Vaimond. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.